What's going on, everybody? It's time to bring it back. The Roundtable, the amazing, wonderful Roundtable from, it was a year ago, maybe more. It was a lot of fun, but Brady and Kelvin hit me up and said, hey, we should get this thing going again. So we're going to do it. The Instagram Roundtable is back, and we're going to kick it off. So starting off, obviously, Brady, how's it going, dude? Nice to have you.
Yeah, it's going great. Happy to be on here. I think it's the first time I did the round table with more than one person. We got 3 people now, so
definitely looking to add to it as well, right? That'll be fun. Yeah, great idea bringing it back too, because those are some of the best discussions that I had as I was getting myself, back into the hobby for sure. And then frequent guest, visitor, friend Kelvin, the Expo extraordinaire, is back. Kelvin, how have you recovered from said Expo yet?
I think I have. Yeah, I've been selling quite a bit of the stuff. I'm like, I bought too much, so liquidated some stuff. But I think I've recovered.
Okay, good. You got back on the sleep schedule. You're giving yourself some time away from cards and stuff. Mm-hmm. But that's good, man. Well, yeah, we're really excited to get this going again because Brady and Kelvin, you guys both said, hey, we really enjoyed the first version of it when we had all the 90s guys on here. We're all 3 into modern. Let's try to bring it back more to that era of cards, and there's so much to talk about, so much to kind of educate people on, so much to have discussions that everybody's got their own opinion, but I think in a good way it's going to create some real good discussions, some broad discussions, and hopefully involve some people around Instagram over the next few episodes. I know I had some people reach out to me saying, I've got an idea. Can I send you a video? So it's good to know there's interest, and the hobby's at an all-time high right now. I think we could all agree that we're seeing interest level at its highest of peaks. We're Everesting here, if that's even a verb, but it seems like the interest is so high, and I think for a lot of people coming in, it just feels it could be very overwhelming. You know what I mean? The experience can be very overwhelming coming in right now. So I'm going to throw it to Brady first. Brady, just for people who haven't seen your first interview, which is I definitely recommend, that'll be in the description if anybody wants to listen to why Brady named his account Acetate Guy and what that journey's been like. Check that out. But Brady, who do you collect? What do you enjoy about collecting, that type of stuff?
Well, my name's Brady, and my account name is Acetate Guy, and I collect the Young Gun acetates from every year from 2013 till now, and I also collect Pavel Datsuk on the side. So that's my main priority right now are those 2 PCs.
And why Datsuk? Where did that idea come from? Because you started with just collecting the acetates, which, by the way, is no small endeavor for anybody wondering. He's collecting probably the most desirable rookie cards of every player from that year on. But why Datsuk?
If I'm being honest, I was kind of bored with the acetates not being released, and I was just looking over what I could collect. I was going to start another set, and I said, you know what? Datsuk's been my favorite player since I've seen him play back in 2006. I think that's when I first watched him. Mm-hmm. And I started paying attention more and more to him, and he's just mesmerizing. In my personal opinion, I think he's the best player ever, but that's just me. That's just my opinion. So hopefully
that's okay. Fleury's the best goalie that's ever played, in my opinion, and Kelvin might have something to say about that. So yeah, that's good. All right, cool, man. So you've been after that set for a long time. So to give people an idea, I mean, Brady has been hunting some of the toughest to find cards that you could ask for the last 10 years, practically.
About 7 years. So.
About 7 years. And so, I mean, just think about everything that you've seen over the last 7 years and the boom of the hobby. I know there's plenty of experience and, things that you've, gone through and seen over the last 7 years collecting such desirable cards that, I mean, I think your stories are going to be endless, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that'll be good. What are you most looking forward to, discussing throughout the entirety of this roundtable?
I'd like to discuss graded cards versus raw. So basically, just discuss the different grading companies because, well, now there's probably dozens. There's a new one popping up every day.
Every day it
But
seems like.
the main ones, I guess, are Beckett and PSA. PSA, I think, is by far the most popular one right now. And I think Beckett might even be third. There's a few other companies that are gaining popularity. But yeah, basically the importance of those grading companies to collectors and why they're so important. And then just why people don't collect raw anymore. It's almost seen as taboo to have something so valuable and not graded. So there's that.
Yeah, those are going to be two good topics for sure. Well, good. Yeah, we'll look forward to talking about that first one for sure. Now, Kelvin, most people that have watched this channel know who you are, but let's pretend they're like, oh, there's a Roundtable. I'm going to go watch this channel for the first time. Who are you, my friend?
My name's Kelvin. I am a Corey Schwab super collector. I'm just kidding.
Nice. We need more of that around.
That's a name I haven't heard in a while, but I collect Martin Brodeur mainly, mainly shiny cards, parallels, rare inserts, all that fun stuff. Why do I collect them? I loved being a goalie when I was younger, and he was the coolest one, and I was a bit of a bandwagoner, and that's why I chose him.
So see, it's healthy to admit this from the beginning. Yeah, that's great. Now, you've been collecting cards since when?
I mean, I collected as a kid, but then like really getting into it, 2010.
Oh, wow, okay, good. So we've got basically 15 years, 16 years of collecting experience on your end. What about yourself? I mean, what are you most looking forward to talking about today, especially?
Mainly, I guess, everyone's PC progression so far, since it's like we're at the halfway point of the year. See how everything's looking, and then also discussing, I guess, some of our favorite cards from other sports, because I know this is mainly going to be hockey, but it'll be cool to see what we like from other sports, and then also talk about other companies. Right. Maybe in the future might get involved in hockey again, also, or talk about them from the past as well.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, definitely a variety of topics. And I think one thing I'm most looking forward to is just the amount of knowledge that's in here right now, and whoever else we're able to get in here and join us. I know Logan's quite looking forward to hopping in here, but is just, we all collect in our own ways. We're similar, but we're also different. We know a lot of different people. We know a lot of the same people. And I think we've all had really high positive experiences, and we've had a few not so good experiences. So I think we three bring a lot to the table, no pun intended, to share with people and discuss with people. I do want to just put a PSA out. Myself, Brady, Kelvin, we're not experts. We don't think we're experts. I think you've mentioned this before, Brady. You're excited to learn about modern. I'm excited to learn about the acetate rookies, because I don't, Fleury's just got the one. And then, Kelvin, you are still really entrenched into the 90s and stuff. And it's been fun to see you uncover cards that Jocelyn Thibault doesn't have. But just learning about, some of the baseball stuff that we do. So we all have stuff to learn from each other and to share with everyone, and hopefully learn from you guys as well. So just want to put that out there. And for myself, I mean, Marc-Andre Fleury is who I collect. I also like collecting a player named Tyler Glasnow in baseball, but I got back into collecting 3 years ago. I think a lot of people could say that. Got back into collecting hockey because I was collecting A-Rod 90s cards, and they just took off, and they're still taking off. You look up in the Essential Credential, you are going to be amazed at the prices, or a PMG for that matter. When I saw that market getting to a place that I couldn't, fathomably reach anymore, to I was almost done adding cards. I just missed out on like the top 20 most expensive A-Rods at that point. I was ready to, sell and get into hockey. And I started with Thibault, which was great because all those cards were around when I was a kid and I never got to own them. So adding those was amazing. Just the base cards and remembering all those memories with my dad, that was awesome. So after about a year of collecting Thibault, I could feel I mean, Kelvin knows what I'm talking about here. When it like in YouTube, Brady, like when you decided acetate or brodeur, there's this like feeling that comes over you when you like made the decision. This is gonna happen, and I was like, it's time to collect Marc-Andre Fleury. He's been my favorite since he was drafted. He's got so many cards out there. His prices 2 years ago were actually pretty good compared to what I thought they should be, and you know, I just loved the person as much as the cards. So decision was made, sold all the A-Rods over the course of 6 months. It was not as hard as I thought it would be, but it was still time consuming. Let me tell you that. You guys know selling one card is time consuming. Imagine a collection of 1,200 unique. You know, it was a lot, but it was fun. And now I have a collection that I could, you know, I absolutely would never have dreamed of seeing these cards in the same place. So collecting is definitely a big passion, but my favorite part about it is the friendships for sure. Just connecting with people, and I'm definitely looking forward to continuing to do that, especially through this roundtable. But for myself, I'm really excited to talk about this so-called drought or you know, whatever you want to call it, bursting of a bubble or market correction that we're going to have. I think we can all agree we keep hearing this talked about over and over and over. There's these people out there, and not only say like doomsday preppers, but like people who believe there's going to be a correction with the hobby, and it's just really hard to imagine it happening. You know, it's just really, really tough to, especially with how many cool cards that people don't have, as Kelvin was saying. That's it, right? I mean, so let me just throw this out to you guys. Kelvin, when you hear people say like, oh yeah, you know, that's okay, just wait a couple years, Kelvin, the brodeurs will be cheap. Just wait till the market goes down, and you have that same reaction. You kind of giggle like, okay, sure.
Yeah, no way.
Why the reaction you just had?
Well, the thing is, well, the interest, I guess, in cards is at all-time high. But even for now, like even during like the dips, if there are any dips for brodeur stuff, but there are a lot of brodeur collectors out there, and they're not going to stop wanting a card that you rarely see often. Like even if it's out of 100, it's some of it's just hard to like to come by at all. Like you probably haven't seen a copy. For example, let's say like the Star Quest Gold. Like there's 100 of them, but like when was the last one you've seen? Like it's probably been a while.
Right.
Yeah.
So like I don't think, and then like people will still love that card, right? Like people rank them as like a top 3 card that they want. I know there's people that set collect that. That's like another level of that, but
those cards are insane right now.
Yeah, though a lot of the 90s stuff is just like astronomical, and then even with like the modern stuff like Prism, Gold, Select Golds, PMGs, all that stuff, I don't see there being a loss of interest. I don't see it being going down. Like if it dips, it's like a minor, like you know, like $100 or something,
10% or something
maybe.
like
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
it's not gonna go like 50 or like whatever people think it's gonna like absolutely tank. I don't believe that one bit.
I mean, Brodeur is one of the top goalies of all time and one of the most popular, so it'll never go down, and it'll probably only just go up.
Mm-hmm.
What about the acetates too, Brady? I mean, obviously, we all agree that if our guys or our sets all like got destroyed value-wise for some reason, we'd still want to collect them, right? Like that doesn't change anything about the cards at all. A card out of 25 is out of 25. They're not, you know, so. You know, when you hear that and you think about it, and you've been collecting some of the most, you know, desirable, tough to find, beautiful, like it's got everything people are looking for, rarity, you know, beauty, and the players. Do you feel the same as Kelvin?
Oh, I feel the exact same way. Like it doesn't matter what happens with the market. I mean, that's probably just a problem for a lot of investors. For true collectors, it really does not matter. I mean, my collection could go down to like nothing, pennies, and I still wouldn't sell. Still wouldn't get rid of them. I'd still collect every year. So that's where I'm at with that.
Right. Well, I mean, let's say you're McDavid that you have, obviously probably the most desirable, toughest to find card. Like if you were going to start this set now, that would probably be impossible at this point.
At this point, yeah. A few years ago, not as bad, but now they don't pop up at all. So really lucky to have it.
Well, and just think about that card right there too, Kelvin, right? Like how could you ever say that card, the acetate Young Guns of Connor McDavid, is going to be worth less? Like, sure, you might have some fluctuation in this like upper stratosphere of prices, but like, what would cause that card to be? I don't know how much they go for now. I'm going to guess what, like 10, 15 grand or somewhere in there.
Oh, a lot more than that. Yeah.
Probably, I think a lot more.
Is it like 50 or something
Close
insane?
to that, yeah.
Oh my gosh. But I mean, let's say there was a dip and it went down to 40. I mean, you're not going to just see it, because desirability of a card drives prices, right? I mean, we think about our Beckett's when we were growing up or whatever, like the player and the popularity. When would the popularity of the acetate Young Guns just go away? How could that even happen? I don't think
they would, because like Young Guns, like it's kind of funny. They're so popular, yet of all the cards out there, they just the normal Young Guns, they don't have any numbering. They're not shiny. There's no patches. There's no autographs. They're not inserts. They're easy. You get 6 of them a box, but they will still maintain value. So any parallel of those, which I think there's about 20 of them now, different parallels.
It seems, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's the EPAC ones, and now you can get, forget the clear-cut exclusive, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to go down. I mean, they release different ones. They're going to maintain value for just the normal Young Guns. And the acetates, again, the same thing. I mean, the Rolls Royce for Young Guns are easily the high gloss. So you go one step down to acetate, I mean, it's not going down.
All right. Yeah, that's another discussion. Like, would you rather have the high gloss or the acetate Young Gun? I think we know. Yeah, I mean,
investment-wise,
yeah,
the high gloss.
High gloss. I think high gloss.
Dude, but for me, I'm all about like being a little bit different, and I love the acetate Young Guns because they have a better picture, usually a better picture than the original Young Guns. And it's just got that hollow foil with the acetate, obviously. Like, it's a 90s looking card still, and I dig that. It's almost like the EX set from 90, if you guys know baseball, the 99 EX set. You remember, Kelvin? It's got it's clear on the outsides. And
yeah.
It reminds me of that. So I think
those are nice cards.
Yeah, I mean, and then, like for Brodeur and Fleury, you're talking about two, like the number 1 and number 3 winningest goalies of all time. When would the popularity of those two guys go away? 3-time Cup winner for Fleury. Is it 3 or 4 for
3?
3. So both of them have won 3 cups. One of them's won more games than the other by a mile, it seems like. But I mean, I cannot see the popularity of these guys going down. Maybe short term for like a year or something, but as soon as Brodeur gets thrown in another set, everybody sees him in the new set, and they're like, "Oh, I should go see what else he's got," And it'll be the same for Fleury when he retires. So I know we're talking about 3 very specific things, but just in general, I cannot see. Let's say you take all the investors and you snap your fingers like Thanos, and they decide they're all going to sell out, and then you're left with us, the guys that are collecting because they love it, regardless of the money.
Yeah.
How much would that affect the market? What do you guys think?
I think it would affect the market a lot. I don't think investors are bad or anything. I don't have anything against that, because I mean, everyone wants to make money in different ways. I mean, collecting, like investing, the same as stocks. You're just hoping it goes up. I think if they were to just poof and they're not there, I think it would affect the market, because they're the people that are putting more money into the market than we are in the long term. I mean, we're putting in small amounts, but there's people that are dishing out 6-7 figures weekly.
That's crazy
on stuff, man. Right? So I talk about, like, as the hobby as a whole, not just hockey, around because a lot of the basketball, baseball, football guys, because hockey went up, they started collecting. You can see on their Instagram, they went all of a sudden it's basketball, and then they'll have some hockey included because the market went up. So I think if the market for hockey ended up just kind of dipping because investors are gone, I think that would be where you have that like trickle down effect. I don't think it would be too crazy, but I think the really high end stuff would be kind of cut down marginally for sure.
What do you think, Kelvin? You on the same line there?
I honestly don't think it would affect it that much because the thing I find different with hockey compared to other sports, uh, I know there's like not including like crossover investors like from other sports, but like for hockey, there's like not many like peer investors in hockey. Everyone like, I mean, for me, like I flip on the side to fuel my PC. I think a lot of people do that as well too, right? They just if they can flip cards to fund a PC card, they would. So
yeah,
I think in that aspect, yeah, I like if investors are holding like it's the same thing as like the point before, like investors are holding cards that people want. People are willing to dish out that money for that card. Like, yeah, maybe the ultra high end stuff will probably go down a little bit because
right.
maybe, yeah, just like the numbers are just too high and doesn't make sense.
The PSA 10, Crosby, Young Guns, that kind of stuff will take a
Yeah,
dip, probably, right?
yeah, might fluctuate and all that stuff, um, but I don't think it would be like a big traumatic effect at all.
I try to think about like the three of us too, and I think if the investors got out, I think Brady would probably see the most effect compared to the rest of us, because those acetate young guns, especially graded, which we'll get to that topic, definitely would see some movement in the negative direction price wise, which I mean is a good thing for you, right?
Yeah.
But I think about looking at all of us player collectors, are we going to see? I think what we might see if I just, let's hypothetically play this game here, which again, I don't think any of us agree that there's going to be the market correction like is below. But if there was, I think you'd see box prices affected the most, which then in turn, would be like, oh, the new Brodeur Stature red or black, let's say, because those are sick. That instead of being $200, now that's $100 because the boxes are half the price. You know what I mean? Like, guys are trying to recoup, or then your acetate young guns, right out the gate, you're not being asked to pay. I'm trying to think of like not Pavel Franco, because he's got one from last year. Franco, sorry, like a Pavel Franco acetate, for instance. Who knows what that's going to be at? Maybe 250 or so. You're looking at half that or something if the boxes of SPA or a case is less. So I think singles wise, we would see some effect, but you're looking at these cards that Kelvin and myself are chasing of our favorite goalies that are over 10 years old, over 20 years old, like those aren't changing, like I think the newest stuff would be, you'd start seeing, less people breaking cases, or at least, people flipping these high ends, because it just goes from like one high end to the next, right? Brady and myself and Kelvin were all high-end collectors. I'd buy a PSA Crosby 10, then Brady would buy it later for 5,000 more, and then Kelvin would buy it for 10,000 more. And now we've set the market. I feel like it's just changing their hands. So
yeah, that's how it works. So
it'd be a weird world to live in, man. Would you guys appreciate your cards? Like if you had, $1 million to spend in a year on cards, would you still love your cards the same? Because I think it would be hard. I think it'd be hard to love a black diamond out of 100 that I've never found until Kelvin found it and cracked it out of a KSA 5 or whatever it was. But like, I love that I finally completed the whole Ruby run. Like, how cool is that? Like, honestly, Brady, would you love collecting if you had millions to spend every year?
I still would, not based on value, but based on like rarity and how hard things were to find. I'd still have that feeling, because even now I have cards in my collection that I had that cool feeling where you find something you finally couldn't find after years. And like the big guys out there, you knew they were always going to be out there. You make an interest post, someone might just say, yeah, I got it. But if you put a random name that you've been looking for years, nobody has it. So just finding cards like that, it wouldn't matter if I was, had $1 billion. I think it'd be cool to find that, to get that cool feeling, right? So,
right. How about yourself, Kelvin? Because I know, like, in just like with what Brady said, finding that like tough Pacific parallel out of 20, like it's hard to replicate that feeling regardless of the money that you have to spend. But do you feel like you'd still enjoy the process, and even if you had $1 billion right now, and it was like, yeah, I just added that 101, and you just kept hitting the bid up or whatever, and you got it. Well, added a 101. Like, would it be the same, you think?
Oh yeah, it'll be the same for me. If anything, I would pay a stupid amount of money for certain cards to pry out of other collections. I'd be like, I'll give you like, buddy, number doesn't matter. I'll give you this. Name your price. Let me get it out of your hands.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it would definitely give you more. What's that?
I thought about that too. Like, there's some people out there that I'm like not jealous of their collection, but it's like, I'd love to own that. If I had the money, I'd just say, hey, how much for your whole collection, right?
Yeah.
Just a cool $500,000, Brady. You can come take all the flurry you want, man. $500,000. Just drop it on the briefcase on the doorstep, man. But then, to flip that around, I think we can all agree the fact that all three of us are not working with endless amounts of money. I mean, if at times we've probably put ourselves in top ramen situations, as I've liked to refer to it for years, where you're eating PB&J top ramen or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you're really putting yourself just to get that one card. And Kelvin knows exactly what card I'm talking about right now. But it doesn't, you would lose that little bit of excitement, I feel like, or a lot of excitement when you sell a card and you make a trade and you talk to 5 people, like, Brady helped me get that patch from Upper Deck this year. I mean, like, that stuff would get lost. And so I think, having endless amounts of money, it would still be fun, but it would be different,
I mean, for like eBay and, trying to get cards off people, like if they try selling it higher than what it's worth, like, I mean, you just wouldn't care. Like, whatever. Yeah. I'll just buy it off you. And there would be no negotiating with people anymore. Even the big cards, like you're saying, like one-of-ones and stuff, if it was on auction, that card's yours. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But just to find some certain cards, I mean, there's some cards out there, I don't think you could have all the money in the world. There's some cards you just can't find. Like, I mean, I know there's a card right now, I don't even know it exists. If I had all the money in the world, I'd put up a bounty probably for somebody, like, hey, show me where this is. But other than that, it doesn't matter because I can't spend that money to get it, right? So I think that's another aspect you got to look at. There's just certain cards that you probably just will never lay eyes on, regardless of how rich you are.
Yeah. And but you know what? I think that we can accept that. You know what I mean? I think when you have all that money, people who we call the investors or the really big spenders, their wallets pry things away from people who you maybe wouldn't see. So that's a world that I don't know if I'd want to. Sure, I'd like to have more money because then I could just go buy every flurry I wanted. But, like all of us, but it does add kind of some excitement when you can dig up a really big card like that. So, all right. So I'll end with this on my topic. Random. I like throwing out random stuff that you guys aren't ready for. Brady, I'll start with you. Where do you see the market next summer? Go.
I think the market is probably just going to be the same. I mean, I don't think for hockey, I don't see the market changing that much unless what's his name there, first overall pick.
Owen Power?
Bedard?
Well, when Shane Wright comes into the league.
Shane. Oh, yeah.
And I think that's next year, is it?
This coming draft would be the Shane Wright, maybe. The 2023 is the Connor Bedard and Michkov.
Yeah, well, until then, I think the market will probably actually go up from there. I mean, Bedard is hyped. I mean, Michkov, or I forget how to pronounce his name, but it's like the whole Crosby Ovechkin thing all over again. So I can see it happening then. But next summer, I think it's going to stay the same. I mean, Shane Wright's hyped, but I mean, so was Lafreniere, and that really didn't do much. I mean, his stuff went up, and now his stuff's way down. So I think it's going to stay the same until we see another generational player, until we see another Crosby, Ovechkin, McDavid, or we have some of the legends that are in the NHL retire, and their stuff becomes a lot harder to find because they're not signing anymore. I think that's the only time the market will go up.
It's good take, man. What do you think, Kelvin? Are you thinking the same thing, or maybe a little bit different on the market?
No, I think it'll be about the same. Like, obviously there'll probably be a natural small increase, but I think it would be relatively the same.
you guys imagine if Lafreniere came out of the gates scorching hot like Kaprizov, like or vice versa?
He's a power. I mean, he's like power forward kind of guy, right? So like once he gets older, once he like bulks up, then he can play. I mean, that was what he played in the queue. He was like more like a big guy. He like overpowered everyone else. But I mean, if you're playing against guys the same size as you, you can't really bully them.
Well, and I'm thinking too, like a guy like that, like a first overall pick, whether it's Wright or Bedard next draft, who comes out on fire and stays hot the whole year, who's already hyped from the beginning before they step onto the ice, that can like carry a year of products to like ridiculous amounts with how much people buy into hype. I mean, look at
basketball is terrible for that.
Oh, dude, tell me about it, man. I paid so much being like $20 for Duncan Robinson cards, and now you can get them all for like $3-4 because he was just going on fire. Like in the bubble, he was killing it. And so yeah, hype. I feel like anybody that gets hyped, that's also gets hyped because of their performance during the season, who gets hyped before the season. If they meet those expectations and go beyond it, you see some just ridiculously high prices for certain stuff. And if Kaprizov had been hyped out of the gate like Lafreniere, and then when his rookie card dropped, I mean, you would have seen some crazy stuff in Series 2. But
the only reason he wasn't, because he wasn't the first overall pick. There's always a premium that comes with that. Like for some reason, if you're first overall pick, your premium's higher than if you're drafted all the way from 10th to down. Like you're just a premium. And Kaprizov also being in the Minnesota market, I mean, if you had a first overall pick like Lafreniere come in and he was playing for Toronto, you wouldn't be able to touch his stuff probably even now.
Yeah, right. No joke. I mean, and you look at Jack Campbell when he got traded there and then went bananas for the first 3 weeks he was there. All this stuff was like skyrocketing. His young guns was like $50, and it was nuts, man. Well, cool. Well, I think for me, again, like I mentioned, I think it all comes down to who's hyped the most. Obviously, Shane Wright, whatever, first overall pick, or a couple other guys getting hyped and then coming into the season and just tearing it up out the gate is really going to make a huge difference, whether the market or products that year. But I don't know. I'm looking at, like, obviously they're talking about a recession coming, and like, what's that going to do for people spending money on cards? If you sell a house at the right time, you could then have all this extra money, because then you buy into another one for 2/3 the price and all this capital. So I don't know. I don't think we're going to see a huge change, but I just imagine that we're going to see kind of a nice level, especially during this off season. I think we're going to see a nice level as things are coming out. SB Authentic's coming out. Then next month you'll probably get Allure, or hopefully some other stuff from 21-22. Metal Universe, hopefully by the end of the summer. That would be really nice. And just there'll be nice steady products again, because you got to imagine all these products are so spaced out that when OPC Platinum finally came out, 8 months later, something like that. I mean, people were going crazy for it, like paying ridiculous prices. So hopefully steady products will also balance things out. But
it'd be nice to get a box for $150 again.
Oh, dude, Metal Universe, right?
Oh, it bumped up to like 300, over $300. Like,
so yeah.
Like, I remember I was contemplating pre-ordering. I was like, oh, it's a little bit high. I forgot what the pre-order was. Like it was like 170 or 180 or something like that.
Oh, I haven't seen a product so hyped, man. Like, it was so popular when it came out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of fun stuff in that set.
Well,
it is
on, right, for they ended up having PMGs that are now one of ones. So all of a sudden, and then people are then paying the premium for certain ones that are getting pulled. People are joining breaks just to get that Ovechkin there not too long ago, right? So.
Oh, was the Ovechkin pulled recently?
It was, yeah. Geez, I think it was sold for like over 100,000 or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think Big Three Hockey has it. I think I saw it at the expo.
They bought it or they sold it? Big Three.
They probably bought it.
Okay, all right. Well, if there's a video of it getting pulled, I think I did see that. And like the guy's like freaking out, right? He's like shaking. I'm like, dude, get the thing in a top loader now before you drop it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Cool. Well, I mean, I think that product certainly has that nostalgic feel. I know Kelvin and I are quite excited to see if any legends or flowers happen to be in the set this year. But yeah, so that'll be fun. Well, cool. Now that we've talked about that, who wants to play rock, paper, scissors for the next topic? No, don't do that. Since Brady, you're new around here, we'll save the best for last. The best for last, Kelvin, right? Brady, you really wanted to talk about the graded versus raw when it comes to collecting. Can you expand upon that a little bit? Like where is that interest in that discussion coming from?
Well, it's just become like a mainstay right now in the hobby. I mean, anyone that's selling anything, regardless, I mean, PSA and Beckett are backed up. And the reason why they're backed up, people are sending in everything because it's like they're getting a premium depending on the grade. In some things, I mean, vintage, getting 6, 7s, 8s was fine. The newer stuff, like the value increase from a 9 to a 10 for PSA was just too much to, you wanted to send it in just because of that. Mm-hmm. So I think that grading has been the most popular it's ever been in the last couple of years, especially PSA. Like PSA is known for their vintage grading. They grade modern as well, but now everybody is sending to PSA regardless of what it is. So it's just pretty interesting to see why people are doing this, especially for PC items. Mm-hmm. I mean, if it's PC, I mean, why does it need to be sent there? I mean, sure, you want to put it in a case to protect it, maybe. There's certain cards I've seen, like for basketball, people are sending in like the Logomans and whatnot to be graded only to protect it because it didn't matter the value. They wanted to just protect it. But for like a lot of cards, like right now for hockey, probably the most popular cards being graded are the Future Watches and the Young Guns, right? I mean, McDavid, Crosby, Ovechkin are probably the most popular 3 right now at PSA and Beckett, like their registry. That's probably all it is for hockey, other than some like obscure things here and there. So I just think it's interesting for things that you're going to keep. If it's for investment purposes, I can understand. One thing that I don't understand with all companies, I mean, Beckett, PSA, I mean, et cetera, all the other ones, is that when you take them out of the case to resubmit because you don't agree with the grade, I think that's really hilarious. I don't know why people do that. It's like they want a grading bump and they'll wait a year to get it and then sell it. It's like, I don't understand that. So yeah, basically, I just don't really understand the whole graded versus raw scenario anymore. It's like I was saying before, like raw seems to be taboo. Most people post online unless they're like collectors like we are. I mean, I know you, Matt, you don't care for graded as much. I'm not sure about you, Calvin, but
I have some graded cards, but yeah, I do prefer raw.
Yeah, I think it's more aesthetics with me. I like Beckett. I like their gold labels. Yeah. I don't like their silver. I don't like 9s. But it's only because of aesthetics. I don't like PSA at all. I think they're not pleasing to look at, in my opinion. But that's only aesthetics. To grade a card, there's some cards that doesn't even matter, like what the grade is to me. Just having something to protect it. But even then, I mean, if you put it in a one touch, it does the same thing. So.
Right.
Yeah.
It's such a, I like the aesthetics of an ungraded card. And there's something about holding, like I'll use this Black Diamond again, for example. You know, Kelvin found it in a KSA 5. So we've had our laugh about that because why the heck would you grade a card that's going to get a 5? Clearly there's some issues. And I'm looking at him like, this looks like every other Black Diamond card that's 15 years old, 20 years old, whatever. But, somebody like, why wouldn't you just keep that in the case as protected? I have a friend, Tyler, who's probably going to watch this, and he has McGuire stuff. He's got cases that are all scratched up from PSA, BGS. He's like, oh, they're protected. I'm like, they look like crap in there. They look awful, like the presentation of the card. But I think also having, like holding the card in your hand, like as I've been rescanning, I'm almost at 700, 691. Scanning all these cards, like putting them, ungraded, uncased on a scanner. It's like holding it how it came out of a pack. And I've always appreciated that you know, feeling of pulling the card, although I never did. Holding the actual card in your hand is pretty amazing. But I will say there's an outlier for me because I have one card, I have one flurry that's graded right now. Kelvin knows which one it is, but because of the fact when it comes to certain cards, I think grading is the better option. Like obviously that is my only graded card in my flurry collection. But because of the card that it is, I know that the value of that card is now safer because it's graded. If that was in a, you know, if I cracked it and put it in a one touch, I mean, I don't mind saying what I spent on this. So this is $1,100. What do you guys think the value would be if that thing was cracked and in a one touch?
I think the same, to be honest.
Maybe I'm going to lean towards probably the same, just because a lot of the PNGs, they're hard to get high grades on anyway. I think an 8 is actually pretty amazing for that card.
Yeah.
I see a lot at PSA like 5, 6, and 7 for cards that look flawless, but they have issues. I think they would probably go the same just because it's a green. If that was a red or a blue, I think there'd be a big difference.
Right.
But the green, I think it'd be the same. I think just, you know, when all those greens popped up anyways, people were just surprised, like, wow, where were these hiding out? I don't think it would change. I think even if this was in a one touch, I think it'd probably go for the same.
Interesting. I tend to feel like that card would probably 25% more if I'm really being honest, especially I know it's going to keep the value, you know, like knowing what I spent on a card, which is, you know, not to say that if anybody's ever spent more or less, whatever, but that's like my ceiling. I've never thought I'd cross the 1,000 mark threshold. I was not comfortable with it. But when it comes to a card like that, I think, how can I make sure it's protected value wise? If that was a raw card, I would have never bid that much. There's no way. If that thing would have gone for over 1,000 raw, I'm like, I don't want it, you know? So I think there's very few cards that I can think of. There's none that I want that I think would be graded, but yeah, I just don't, other than like a Young Guns 9 or a Future Watch 9 or 10 of Flurry, I don't think that there's anything else that I would really want. So that's more of a protection of value type deal for me. But in general, like if I think about my collection, I can't imagine having any of them graded except maybe the ones that are most desirable. So, I mean, what about you, Kelvin? Where are you on this, dude? Because we've had this discussion before, but I know most of your cards are ungraded and you prefer it that way, but why is that?
Well, the thing is, like, I like seeing the card. I feel like if you have it graded, you kind of lose like a bit of the lure, the feel, and the touch of the cards. Like, not like I'm like rubbing my hands on it all the time, but but you know, it's something cool to see, kind of like a naked card, like not being in like a sleeve or like taking the one touch like cover off or, you know, something like that. It's just you get to truly appreciate a card like that. But like in terms of like the grade, like say if I was still missing the Verdure, then my max value would have been the exact same raw, like, or graded.
Really?
It would be the exact same. Like to me, it would make no difference. Honestly, I would have cracked it. If I had the graded one, I would crack it.
I can't do it, man.
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary, but I would crack it.
And you've cracked a few out, right? Just for people that don't know this, can you name a few? Because Brady, he's cracked out a couple of toughies, man.
Yeah, I cracked out the 11-12 certified mirror black 101, the 09-010 jambalaya, and what was it? I don't remember the last one. Was it another 101?
No, wasn't it a gold? I thought you had one of the golds that you cracked.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was the base gold prism 13-14.
Those are the big ones.
KSA, yeah. KSA like 9.5, I think it was.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing. I had a couple A-rods that were PSA 9s that I definitely could have got more for. There were a couple Flair Legacies, and I popped them. I'm like, these look like crap in this case. No offense, PSA, but I don't look like the look of them either. BGS, I feel like they display a lot nicer, thicker, and, you know, like having that green out in the case, like that looks pretty cool because it's well presented. I'm with you on the gold label, Brady. They look nice.
Yeah.
So the gold label looks so nice.
If you get a 1 or a 10, it's like the same label. With Beckett, that's the only thing I don't like with Beckett. I mean, you got an 8 and it got like a little.
Oh yeah,
silver.
it's
Like,
pretty
it'd be
bad.
nice if it was an 8 and it just had like a nice silver or gold like label. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's just me. I'm all about aesthetics.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's definitely a dilemma, but I know there's, if we had a guy, not a guy, girl, whoever, a person who was an investor, like specifically labeled themselves like, I am an investor in cards, their opinion would be completely different, because they're like, this is the best way to protect the investment of the card, is to have it graded. And just a couple days ago, I was watching an NFL player. Who's the running back for the Packers right now? So it's like AJ something.
AJ Dillon.
AJ Dillon. He collects.
Yeah,
you saw that, and the way he was, you could tell he hasn't collected for like many, many years, but he has this like, oh yeah, you opened a box of wasn't flawless, immaculate, and he's like, this is one I would grade right out of the box. He was like ready to grade it, because he said, because you get value from it. It sells for more if it's a 9. It was very generic thinking, which is
definitely
how it is when you're learning.
Yeah,
but like for him to know that right from the get go, that's why everybody's sending stuff to PSA, because they pull something. And you guys, I love telling this story because for this situation, you see a card you want to.
I'm just gonna get my phone charger for a second.
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no sweat. But like when he was talking about the graded and whatnot, I mean, he was immediately thinking about like, I like having all my cards in a PSA 10, and he like ages down and goes like this, PSA 10, PSA 10, PSA. Yeah. And so there's definitely that like allure of having a perfect card, but I mean, it doesn't really change it much for me, man.
Yeah, I mean, I for grading, I get it in certain scenarios. I understand it for vintage. Like, if you have like a Gretzky rookie, right? You want to know if it's real or not.
Right.
The best option is always grading. And then I also, although it's kind of like getting with the print runs now, it's a little bit overwhelming, but like I see the appeal for like grading young guns, because there's so many copies. Right. You can differentiate like like a more better copy than other ones, right? To have it in a PSA 10 or Beckett 9.5 or 10 or Black Label if you can.
Yeah.
Like that in those scenarios, I see why people grade, but yeah, I don't see the need to grade everything. For example, like the PMG, the green, it's already so rare. People are gonna want it regardless of the grade or not. Like if it was not in a BGS or like a PSA label, would that deter you from like grabbing the card? Would it change? Maybe change your max bid a bit. Like would it change? Right. Like I don't think it would change that much. Like, and then
I would definitely bid less, and I would crack it if it was in a KSA or SGC. Even I'd probably yank it out. To be honest with you.
Yeah, but like it's the same. Like you and then maybe other Flurry collectors or PMG collectors, it'll be the exact same. Like you still want the card. Like the grade won't hinder that much. Maybe a little bit of your max bid, sure, but like people still want the card. Like I don't think the grade will affect it. And this is only speaking from hockey as well too. Like all the other sports is a different beast, but like hockey, like I understand for rookies, for like future watch as well too. Like it's not that high of an amount, like to have like 9.99, but it's a good amount. So like to differentiate it is
right.
I can see it, but
I get it.
The problem is just the premium. I guess it drives for like the difference between like a grade, like a PSA 10, like is substantial compared to PSA 9, and the difference is like a little edge wear, a little white on the corner. Like I don't see why that. I mean that's a different issue too.
Brady, can you try turning your headphones back on, dude? I can't hear you. We don't want to don't want to lose them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I totally agree, man. I one thing that's kind of interesting too is like for us, like for Brodeur and for Fleury, even like his rookie stuff, and Brodeur's like 90s inserts, or even like, I don't know, maybe PMGs, but like Fleury's 2003 stuff. I mean, that is 20 years old now. You know what I mean? Think about it, 20 years old. It's pretty low, yeah. See if you can bring. I wonder why.
Yeah.
So like I think there's definitely a premium when it comes to that, but with the 2003, with the older stuff, there definitely is going to, like a PSA 9 of Fleury's Young Guns, as opposed to like, even a Makar PSA 9 is substantially more because it's an older card. So I get it. I just don't, I don't, other than the ones that you're saying to differentiate from. A limited logos even. Like I get so frustrated when I see those graded. I'm like, why? Those cards are incredible already. Like why grade a limited logos? Like RPA even. Like they're out of 99. Yeah, it's kind of strange, dude. Hey, let's try no headphones and see if that fixes it. Because I don't know why it's so low. I was hearing him fine earlier. I was hearing
you were fine earlier.
Yeah, let's try just the iPhone microphone. Let's see.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, that's better.
Perfect.
Okay.
That's weird. Yeah.
Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah,
we'll
I was gonna join in on that. Like for me, Pavel Datsyuk, his Young Gun is in the same category as like Bergeron and Fleury. Like it's really hard to get 9.5s in, right? So just to buy his Young Gun is honestly only a couple $100 to get it. It's pretty easy. But if you were to buy his 9.5 Young Gun, you're paying 10 times the price because there's not very many of them out there. And that's what I did, right? I got his 9.5, but that's like the only card I went after graded because of that, because there's a low population on them. They're everywhere, and it's cool because they have that defect on the top edge. And so getting one with no defect on it is pretty cool as well, because you don't want a damaged copy in your collection, right? So
right.
That's the only card.
If Brodeur had a Young Guns, for instance, like if that Upper Deck rookie that he has, we all know that card. I had it as a kid. There's probably 100,000 of them out there, 200,000. But if he had, if that card was labeled like a Young Guns or whatever, it would be pretty cool to like find one, like a French version even that differentiated with that 9 or 10. You know what I mean? Just to add that extra little bit to it. Have you ever looked for that card in a PSA 10 before? Just out of curiosity.
I have it in a 9.5. I have both. I have the score and the Star Rookie in the 9.5.
Nice.
I didn't want to pay a lot for them because they're like so common and they're like high pop. I'm like, I remember at one point like a PSA, they're like during the peak, it was like a PSA 10, the Score Rookie went for like $300. I'm like, excuse me, what? Why are you paying? Why are you paying this much for that card? What?
Well, with looking at how much it costs to grade now, that seems about kind of low, to be honest with you. I mean, I know the pop is really high, but
yeah, it's gone down quite a bit. I think it's like half the value of that now, or maybe a little more than that. But yeah, but I like the BGS 9.5. I got it for like $50 or $60.
Okay.
I got it for dirt cheap, and then the Star Rookies one I got it for like $15, I think.
Yeah.
And this is actually within the past 2 years, surprisingly. Wow. So like I mean, it shows you the difference between like Beckett and PSA.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think we can all agree then it's like there's a very select few. The rookies, some kind of a rookie card, the future watches, the Young Guns, those are nice to have graded for sure, because again, it differentiates when there's so many out there. Excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
But the premium that we as collectors would have to pay for said cards, like a PSA 9 Fleury Future Watch, I'm just like, come on, guys. Like, I know there's 900 of them, but it just seems absurdly high when the raw is already going for what it's going for. So Young Guns I could see maybe, but I think last PSA 9 somebody was asking, what was it, like $3,000 or something like that, whereas a raw is depending on condition, I've seen them go for $255, like with messed up corners, all the way to $500 when it's real sharp looking. So that's a huge increase on the PSA 9s as compared to the raw Makar to a PSA 9 Makar. You know what I mean? Like there's a huge jump difference there. So
I mean, it's one of those situations where it's like buy the card, not the grade, I guess.
Yeah.
If you really like need that card, but again, there's people they want that PSA 9, man. They want to have the best version of it, right? So.
Well, I definitely did not buy the grade on the PMG. I could have cared less. That's what it was. I mean, it was more of this is the last. And Kelvin would have done the same thing for the green. We both would have been like, I don't care what the grade is. We need the card needs to be complete the rainbow. And
Yeah.
So, Kelvin definitely talked me into it a little bit. He's like, "You're never gonna see this thing again, Matt."
That's true, man. You probably won't.
If I do, I'd be really surprised. I know that I did see one less than a year ago, and for some reason I didn't have the same, like, I need to get this, but you know how it is, you meet your friends and then Kelvin's like, "Oh yeah, I got the green," and then your other friend's like, "Oh look, I got all three," and I'm like, "Oh gosh, here we go." Yeah. So your friends are good motivators to make you spend money. We will help you when the acetates come out, don't worry. And real quick, it's just a few more minutes before we hop on the next topic here. Series 2 just came out, and we've all had a good time tracking the retro acetates, because we thought that originally we were only expecting, Brady, you said like 8, right? Or something like that.
So I was, the first years when they came out, there was 14, but they kind of ended that trend there last year. They had 9. So I just assumed 9. So when 9 came out, I was like, okay, that's it. And then, the next day someone showed me another one. I was like, oh, there's 10. And then all of a sudden I seen something pop up. Someone sent me a Koivu. I'm like, Koivu? That's in Series 2? He said, yeah, it's in Series 2. I've never seen that. It must be new. It's a star rookie. Then all of a sudden I seen a Peter Forsberg, and then I seen Jerome McGinley. I'm like, oh, okay, so they're going in that direction. So there's a good chance like Brodeur is probably going to get one next year.
Yeah.
Or an extended this year. Get ready.
Oh no.
Yeah. And that, I think we were all really enjoying the I thought it was Sundin though. That was Forsberg, not Sundin in the Nordiques jersey?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Forsberg,
I didn't even believe it. I seen it pop up on eBay, and I wasn't even looking for it. I kind of seen this. It popped up in the clear cuts. People always post them. I always have that on my search as like clear cuts, so people mistake them, just so I don't miss it. And I'm like, what is that? I was like, no way. I said, this is a different one. It's been a week since release date, and I'm only seeing this card now. So, no, it's pretty cool. I was debating collecting them because it didn't say Young Guns, but now I'm going for them.
Yeah, it's nice. It's real
They're
nice.
nice, yeah.
I mean, my favorite is definitely Johnny Quick. I love the black mask that he wore that rookie year. I love the way his Future Watch picture looks. Obviously, that card just sells for an absurdly high amount because this is only rookie that year.
Yeah, which is cool. It's cool how they made like these acetate retros that say Young Gun on it. Of a lot of, I think I don't think Markstrom has one either, if I'm not mistaken.
Nope. He's in Panini only that year. No.
Yeah, I just ended up picking up a Markstrom today actually. So I got Markstrom and Talbot incoming. So, but that's it for now. That's it for a while. So.
Well, how do you feel? Like, I am kind of curious because we didn't get a chance to talk about this, and having bought the Flurry and tracked its value, it kind of sits, I don't know, $75 to $100 lower than I paid. I was right at $500. I got it for $500. It was what I wanted to pay. It's what I got it for. Do you see those kind of lose traction over time, or do they kind of hold? I mean, obviously the Crosby, Ovechkin, guys like that are always going to have value, but the rest of the guys, do you see the popularity for those kind of subdue a bit after, month 2 after release?
I thought they would, but actually, like Bergeron and Fleury from last year, they are basically at the same spot they were when they were released almost. A Bergeron just sold for $600 like not too long ago, and a couple of Fleuries I've seen sell, one for like $570, one for like $480, kind of in between there. I mean, I paid a lot more than that, so.
Sorry, dude.
I should have waited, but I find that last year too, since there's only 9 compared to 14 in previous years, it's kind of more of a premium. And I'm not sure. There's certain players that they have a premium. Like a weird one that I don't understand why, but Tavares is a huge one, worth a lot compared to other ones. I've seen, and there's a lot of good names that will just go for like pennies. They won't go for anything. But like Bergeron, Fleury, Price, Tavares, Crosby, Ovechkin, and there's probably a few others I'm missing, but they go for the same amount like all the time.
Interesting. Well, I'm hoping that you get a Johnny Quick at some point, because if I had a lot of excess funds, I'd have bought that first one for sure. I knew it wasn't going to last very long. Or is it still up there, the very first one that was posted?
No, I think it went, and then another one sold for $430 on bids. So.
Oh, geez, because that one was up for a lot less than $430. So.
Oh, yeah. I was offered it for a lot less than that too, but I'm just kind of taking it easy now. Before I would have just, put my life savings into grabbing that, but now it's like, nah, just take your time. So.
Right. That's good. That's a discussion for another episode about being patient on cards, because I have a hard time, especially collecting Fleury and Brodeur like we are. We don't have the luxury, in essence, quote unquote, of knowing there's going to be another set. There's going to be another addition to the Acetate Young Guns. We are hunting for cards that are 20, 30 years old of the Brodeur and Fleury. So, like, for instance, the one that I'll share next episode from the Cup showed up a Fleury out of 25 that was on my most wanted. I'm like, I have to really go after this card, because if it goes, who knows when I'm going to see it again. Like, I know it's out of 25, but those cards from the Cup that are over 10 years old, I mean, Penguin collectors, goalie collectors, Fleury collectors have those locked away, and they're not going anywhere. So it's pretty tough to take that approach. I don't know, Kelvin, if you're on the same line as me. There's certain cards where it's like you can't just take this hands-off approach. It's like, if you want it, this is your chance. Have at it.
Yes.
Yeah. So it must be nice, Brady.
Well, it is too. Because I get a head start, but also I grab them when they come out. Because if I were to say just not collect this year and wait till next year and try to backtrack, it would be terrible. I had to do that when I first started, and it was terrible. It was years and years before I finished them. Right. So it's good that I'm getting them as soon as they come out. But still, it's expensive, and you need to do the set. It's not like, you grab a few here and there and whatnot. I have to grab the set. I can't, do it without completing it, right? So, but yeah, with player collectors, there's like with me, I guess with that's like you guys, with Fleury and Brodeur, there's just cards out there that you'll have on your list, and we'll just probably have them there for years or even decades.
Don't say that, man. Don't say that.
Realistically, there's some cards that you probably won't even lay eyes on. So that's the worst part about it. But again, it's like I don't worry too much for with my collection. If something pops up, I'm like, okay, cool. But if I'm doing a set, it's like, I need that card right now because it completes the set. It's like with Dapsu, I'm not going to get every single one like you guys. You're not going to grab every single Fleury.
No.
No way. No possible way.
So it's like, oh, this is a really nice one. I'm going to go for this one right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's advantages and disadvantages to both sides. So.
For sure. Well, at least we can both all live vicariously through each other, like with you with the sets and us with Brodeur and Fleury, because I actually deleted a lot of cards off the want list because they're out of 5. I'm like, I'm never gonna see that. And minus that quad patch from Black Diamond, I never thought I'd see that card. I got rid of all those because you're right. I'll probably never see it for years and years and years. Yeah. So I tried to be really realistic with.
There's no point even having it on the checklist. Well, if it pops up, you'll know that's a card you want anyway. So.
Right. But when a guy like Kendall, has probably 90% of every one-on-one Fleury's ever had, it almost makes it easy because you can just forget about those ever had. I'm never going to have any of those. Why would I? Because he's got them already. So maybe when he's 80 years old or something, he's like, all right, you know what? Let's go on a family vacation or whatever. It's like, I'm not holding my hat on that. It makes it easy to not think about.
Try to get put in his will if you could.
I'm not stooping to that level. No, I get it. But well, cool. Yeah, well, that'll be as far as graded and stuff. Again, there's certain cards that the green, it's graded, didn't matter. I'm buying it anyway. Same with you guys. I know that with the 101, Kelvin, you probably had a laugh. Really, you graded a 101. It's well, I'm buying this anyway, so doesn't matter coming out.
Exactly.
Did you run into that at all? Because you were backtracking. Before we move on to the next topic for you, Kelvin, did you backtrack at all and have to settle on a graded version of some of those? Obviously, there's a Crosby card that you happen to have that's graded, but other ones, did you try to sway away from the graded side when you were backtracking on your sets? That was for Brady. I'm so sorry. But for the Acetate Young Guns, obviously, because you're going back and you're backtracking and getting all that stuff after being away for a while. So did you try to not buy graded?
It really didn't matter because a lot of the names, no one's going to be grading them anyway. Same with the regular Young Guns. If they're terrible names, like dollar players. No one's grading them. I mean, I got a few that are graded that I don't understand why someone actually graded them. But they're there, and if they're part of the set and I need it for the set, like I'll grab it. Right, it doesn't really matter. There's a few like the top names. I ended up having McKinnon. I bought it raw there years ago, and I sent it in when I sent my first submission to Beckett. Geez, that was a while ago now, probably like 4 or 5 years ago. And it came back. I thought it was perfect. It came back in 8.5, and I did not want it. So I ended up selling it, ended up saving a bit more money, and then I ended up buying a 9.5 before the spike. So I got really much there. But it's just those names. Like, I just didn't want a McKinnon, like 8.5 for some reason. I wanted a 9.5 McKinnon. Like, if I had any other player in the set that was like a Beckett 6, I'd be like, okay, whatever, I'll keep it. But for some
crack
reason,
it out, baby.
I've cracked it. I sent to Matt Murray actually one time, and I don't know why I sent it.
Sorry. I'm just teasing. Sorry.
It was brand new. It just came out, and I ended up sending it in, and it came back a Beckett 7.5. I didn't look at the surface well enough before I sent it, and it's terrible. So I cracked that out of its case, and I cracked a few Datsuks that I had out of their case because they're just terrible looking. Like, I had one that was my Prism Auto that I'm still trying to sell. No one wants it. It was graded by this new company or something, and I hated the look of it. Just based on that, I took it out. So,
gotcha.
Yeah.
I was just kind of curious because, can you imagine Kelvin like putting that set together that he's putting together right now and having a set? Like, obviously, I'd be stoked if I could get like an 8 of, Joe Schmo that I needed for my set. Cause like, I haven't seen this card in 3 years. Like, all right, fine, I'll take it and then just crack it out. But, nowadays can you imagine like backtracking on some of like McKinnon, even how many of those were probably graded?
I think
that's crazy.
Well, there's, I think 4 9.5s out there, and that's it. So,
that's
and
wild,
I know who has all of them combined. I think I know where all 4 are. So,
I think I've seen them. I think I've seen them too.
Yeah,
have you?
They're out there. Yeah.
That's a pretty substantial card, especially one win away from the cup. Can I just say real quick for more than about? I just love lately. I've been seeing a lot. I know you guys have seen these too. Somebody will post a card for sale of like Makar or McKinnon, one win away from the cup, or just scored a goal today. Like, are there people that are like that, like completely out of it? That are like, oh wow, they're about to win a cup. Yeah, I'll pay $5,000 for this card. Like,
people do.
No way, dude.
I've been selling. I sold a Kemper Future Watch. I sold was it Nichushkin Young Guns I got for like $1. I sold them for like $11 each, I think, around there. People want them. I'm like, all right.
I just love like the selling, the ploy. You know what I mean? Like, like the little things you'll see to like get people to actually buy. Like, people that are buying this card should probably know why they're buying it. Oh wow, they're winning the cup. No way. I guess I'll get this now. I don't know.
You see that all the time, even regular season. Some random nobody 4th liner scores a hat trick, and it's like all of a sudden the news feed is just his cards for sale. It's like when Evander Kane started doing well in the playoffs, that's all you've seen. I mean, guys were putting his Future Watch and his Young Gun. I've seen like a Future Watch for like $200. I'm like, are you kidding me? That card was like probably $20 before that, and now it went up.
If I had a bunch of those cards, I'd do the same thing. I mean, I'd at least sell them, but I wouldn't like put all these ridiculous like 4 goals in 4 games. Like,
I wouldn't put a crazy price either. There'd be more interest, so I would post it. I remember doing that years ago. I ended up messing up. I ended up getting a card that I already had at an expo. I wasn't at the expo, but a buddy of mine was, and he picked up some cards for me. And there was a bit of miscommunication. He ended up sending them all instead of the one. I told him there's one I already had. He didn't need to send it. He ended up sending it anyways. So it was Victor Rask, and at the time this guy was doing really well. I think he had like 12 points in his first 7 games at the start of the season, like the best start he's ever had, obviously. And I ended up posting this card on Facebook. This was years ago when I first started out at the oil sands. I got on the bus. I was like, I have a picture of it. I'll put it online. I kid you not, that card sold in like 10 seconds. Like, I had a PM right away. I'll take it.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah, it's like when players are doing well, it's like, yeah. And I didn't have it high priced. I had it normal price. I'm like, who wants it? And then you grab it. And it's like, I think today I was reading a post. Some guy ended up selling a Vasilevsky like future watch. It was a PSA 10. There's only a few of those around, I guess. Mm-hmm. And so now the guy who has the card, who paid all that money for it, wants his money back because Colorado's up 3-1.
Oh, give me a break, dude. That's so lame.
So he's like, what do I do? Am I in the wrong? And everyone's like, no, basically, tell the guy to kick rocks. You're not getting your money back.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah. Well, he'll be in the scammers group on Facebook soon, hopefully. I do quite enjoy reading through those. All right. Yeah, let's I want to give time for Kelvin here because he and I have a fun connection with our other sport that we collect, and we're in the midst of the modern baseball world, which can be dangerous but also fun when it comes to Panini, baby, because it's unlicensed. Let's go. Kelvin, what did you want to go into depth about today?
Well, yeah, Brady brought up a point of our top five favorite cards from other sports. Right. That at least don't exist in hockey. So it'll be fun to see, we could just imagine like with the cards we show, what it would look like in a hockey form if Topps or Panini ever come back.
Or it could just be, a card that already exists from that sport that you just like to have, right? That could be that. True. But I like that aspect though, to like take a card that hockey could release. I think that's pretty cool.
One can dream, can't they?
Yeah,
for sure. One can dream.
Well, how would you like to do this then, Kelvin? What format would you like for the showcasing of cards?
I mean, I don't have an order, really. I mean, I like these cards. I have like one honorable mention. It's kind of cheating because it does exist in hockey, but
you do that every time we do a top five or some kind. He always has like 10 honorable freaking mentions. Like, geez, dude.
But, no, it's only one this time. It's just because I do miss this set, but okay. You go any order, whatever. You do 5 to 1 if you want, or
why don't we go? Let's just you show them all, and then we can go to me, and then Brady can end it off on this one.
Yeah. So I really miss Panini, of course. So I gotta. I would love to see the Finite come back.
Oh, so sick. From Select, dude.
From Select, so nice. And I also got a Prism one as well, too.
How do those look in person? Are they really
let me do this here. There we go.
I'll send you a scan after, but man, it's hard to see from the glare, but man, they are so nice in person. I'll send you. I think I have a picture I probably posted of me taking it in the light box. So it's almost like I don't even know what to compare it to.
It's similar to the Prism Blacks, isn't it? From same technology as the black.
Yeah, It's the exact same. It's the exact same one as hockey. If you have it, okay. If you ever seen one, it's the exact same. But I was trying to compare to see if there's any other parallels that are similar, but I don't think I can think of one that is. Yeah, I don't think.
Like to just give a vote for Kelvin to create his baseball Instagram account. He's slacking. He won't do it, but get on it, man. Let's go. You're falling behind. Slacking.
It's a lot of work, but I did hit a milestone. I'm like halfway through all the players, so
that's sick, dude.
Yeah, awesome. maybe one day.
Yeah, Panini and hockey would be an interesting go of it now, especially with where Panini's at with the 50 parallels, which I enjoy because my baseball player is cheap. But if it was Fleury, oh my gosh, I'd be in trouble. I'd be in so much trouble. What else you got there, dude? So you got your one.
It's okay. So that was the honorable mention. So then this is 5 to 1.
That was the one honorable mention.
The one honorable mention. Okay.
Okay.
This is my number 5 probably. The Topps Sapphire Purple out of 10.
Nice. What do you? Yeah, I think we should both mention too, and then Brady, you too. Like, what is it about the cards that you like that we don't have in hockey? I guess would be a fun way to kind of frame it. Like what's so cool about that card? What do you wish we could have in hockey that card brings?
I think what I like about Topps Sapphire is I guess the colors that they use in the set aren't really. There's some overlap, but I always find it interesting how depending on the company, they have different numbers for their pair. Like for reds in hockey at least, it's on like the higher end, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have like the red prism like 199, PMG red to 100. But
Right.
then reds in baseball, it's like 25, 10, 5.
Yeah.
Like it's so interesting. So like, and then purple.
Right.
Purple is a color that's rarely used, so I always love purple. Like the only purple I can think of is like the totally certified purple.
Yep, that's a good one.
I can't think of any other purples right now, but
violet pixels, but those are
violet pixel,
$3.99, but they're cool.
Yeah.
Cool set.
They're cool, yeah. But yeah. I mean, I like that set. Cool colors. For my number 4, I don't know if there's anything comparable. I mean, it's just a fun parallel, but I love the 2011 Hope Diamonds out of 60. So it's kind of like the. It's kind of like
that's a cool name for a
sparkling,
yeah,
like a sparkling diamond from the Fleer showcases.
One thing
is nice, anyways.
Yeah, right. One thing that's nice too, for us is like seeing a different foil pattern, because Upper Deck, they have just knowing from a designer's perspective, hearing from Gene, they have different foils that they know will work with the printers, so they stick to, the violet pixels, the red prisms, the out of 199, you got the orange checkers and the green emerald surges. Like those foil patterns you see in Allure, you see them in, Metal Universe or something. Like you'll see them replicated. It's nice to see the Hope Diamonds, because there's really nothing like that in hockey. Like it's completely different.
Yeah.
It would be nice to see. I love when Upper Deck expands upon their different foils for parallels. I just wanted to throw that out there.
What product do you think you could include those in hockey anyways? Would you have to like include it in maybe instead of like Emerald Surge, they could be at a 5 maybe in Platinum, like OPC Platinum or something, like the Hope Diamond?
Ooh, I don't know. That's a tough one, because the thing is they only done it for Topps. I think as far as I know, they only done it that 1 year, that anniversary for 2011.
Oh yeah.
There's different color ones too. There's like the base one is like, it's kind of just like regular, like a white diamond looking one, and then they have a cognac one that's like a burnt orange kind of color, which is nice.
Oh, that's cool.
I think they can make it work in Allure. Allure is very much, built in that way. Like last year, they brought in the it's basically an Emerald Surge, right? But the magenta parallel, I have an Aho that's like retail only. I think those look.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called.
It's unnumbered, but they're case hits. I mean, it could work in the foundation. The foundation of Allure is to have all these different colored parallels, or like an MVP. They do the colors and contours. They could easily put that in there as the out of 8 version, instead of it being purple or not purple, it's green, right? Out of 20. So they could easily throw it in there. But I think Allure would probably be that's a good question. Allure, definitely the easiest one to fit it into, or a Peachy Platinum, right? I think
or Fleer Showcase.
Oh, don't tease me. Don't tease me.
I would love for them to make that.
All right, cool. So we got a couple more, right?
All right, yeah. So number 3, my favorite set in baseball is Stadium Club Chrome.
Oh,
and I love the red refractors.
Great choice.
And I would love to see. It's hard to get the refractor, but
so
I love the reds in that so much. They're so nice, and obviously number 5 makes it more desirable too. But I wish that I would love to see refractors and top spec in hockey again.
I think that's so cool, like with them being at a 5. I mean, you don't really see anything red like that in hockey being at a 5. It's always different. It's always a different color. Like it's always like the golden treasure, whatever color that is, like the golden kind of weird color. And then you have like, I guess, blacks, and then there's I don't even know. I can't even really think. But you don't see anything red. Reds are used for like, the lower end, I guess. You don't really see it.
Yep.
It's always like the emerald colors, for the cup, it's always just like black, like that's it. So I think that's cool that for baseball they use like reds and purples for low end stuff. I mean higher end stuff.
Yeah, red and like orange are the 2 lowest ones, not including like the superfractors. But like those 2 colors, you don't see it even for like Panini stuff. Like red, I'm pretty sure is on the higher end of the side as well too for like their like the red prisms, or even some are even unnumbered. Like, I know like the red cracked ice. I think those are like not even numbered at all, even though they're pretty nice.
Dude, can we all just picture Top Stadium Club doing a hockey release?
Oh, the photography, if they have the photography, like I love the Bo Bichette short print.
Yes,
rookie.
Is
That
rookie.
is one of the nicest cards. It's such like the photography. Like if they brought that over, oh, I'd be so happy.
Like, and I'm just talking like the borderless. I was trying to think in my head while we were talking, like a borderless hockey set. Upper Deck is about as close as you get, but then they still have the border, and like to have a borderless high photography set, like that's collectible on a set level, that's collectible on a parallel level, player, like everywhere. Like I'm with you. Like I'm already nervous. Like Glass now, please be in it, because there's a big checklist. He won't be in Chrome, I bet, but he's making it in all these things still, so I'm hoping like they're gonna be nice to put him in there. All right, what do we got for the last two, dude?
Last two, always got to go back to Panini. You can probably guess maybe this one. It's one of our favorites.
Yeah.
The Peacock from Mosaic, and man, it's hard to tell, but man, there's like.
Can you put it a little bit closer, because Brady, you got to see this. There's actually peacock feathers within that Mosaic parallel shiny pattern.
Yeah,
so, there it is. Look at that.
That's almost like the blue ice cube, I guess you can see in hockey. That's the only thing that reminds me of that.
The pattern is similar. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, the blue cubes is kind of similar to the Finites, obviously, but black. I think blue cubes is the closest thing. The same, like the foiling has that circle pattern to it.
Yeah.
So I think that would be the closest comparison.
Like how many parallels are there like for Panini and other sports? Like I see a lot.
I think for the most recent set, it's like 100. They see like over 100. I forget.
What set is that?
Wow.
The most recent Prism, I think, isn't it?
Oh,
I forgot. There's a ton. There's like 7. I think it's like 70, 80. I don't remember. There's a lot of them.
It's kind of ridiculous. I know Select this year, I was counting up. I think there's 18 including, or 23 including all the 101s.
For baseball or
for baseball this year, yeah. So I'm sure you looked at the checklist already for Select. You know, Glass now is in there, so I'm already like thinking, all right, what am I going to spend for this? What am I going to spend for this? Like you got to set when there's that many parallels, you know, you really have to like O-Pee-Chee Platinum. I really had to like find my price for Flurry, because there are people wanting 12 or 15 for a Violet Pixel. I'm like, when this thing hits E-Pack, this is a $2 card, $3 card all day. So I have to, you got to bide your time when it comes to that many parallels.
Oh yeah.
All right. So if the Peacock's number 2, I'm trying to think, what card have I seen? I don't know what it's going to be. It said Panini though.
The Zebra. I love Zebra.
It's all kinds of animal names. Like
it's so ridiculous, but I love this. This is like my favorite one of the animals. I know there's
cool. I like that.
Yeah, there's like a tiger. There was a giraffe one too in Prism. There's
still haven't found the stinking giraffe, dude. It's been over
really?
a year. No, almost a year. I've not seen a Glass now. Not one. I've seen 2 tigers, no giraffes.
Yeah, I love it. It's just so ridiculous.
That just seems like too many inserts, honestly.
Like, it is, but it's great because you can get it for so cheap. This is why I also love.
And their case hits.
Explain that to someone that doesn't collect cards. Like, this one is giraffe, this one's zebra, this one's tiger.
Yeah.
If they were like common, they'd just be like, oh, this is, but because they're case hits and they are super short printed, I would say that I've seen 2 Glass now. I don't know how many of that one you've seen, but you just on the open market,
2, I think
you don't see. So there might be 10, there might be 15. Like we see a lot less than.
They're not numbered at all.
They're not numbered. They're not numbered.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. They always have case hits for like certain parallels. Like, actually, I don't have one, but I think you have one with Glass now. The Optic Crisis parallel.
Yeah, with the toilet paper.
Yeah, the toilet paper parallel.
Yeah, dude. Not kidding, Brady. There's an optic, a Donruss Optic, Panini Donruss Optic, and it's shiny. It's like a refractor, but on the outside, a bunch of little like emoji toilet paper rolls, and it's just like the zebra. I was so stoked to get that. I'm like, this is the funniest card I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah.
So they have a lot more creative liberties. I think if Upper Deck tried something like that, people would be like, what is this? What is this? This is stupid. I know hockey collectors, they're very like, they like to keep things kind of serious, and they would not go. Can you imagine them doing Select and there being a Kaprizov Crisis rookie? It'd either be the coolest thing of all time or the dumbest thing of all time. I would love it.
It's awesome. I would love it.
it seemed like a hit or miss in hockey, honestly. Like, it could be very popular, or, you know, it could definitely miss. So I think it'd be cool to see, though.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go kind of quick through here, but again, I think I can compare this to all hockey stuff. I think every hockey collector wants a shield, right? Like, that's their ultimate of their player. I don't have a shield of Fleury. I don't know if I ever will, but I have a logo patch of Tyler Glasnow.
Oh, those are cool.
Yeah, dude. So this is from a spring training jersey that I've deduced, and there's a seam or a stitch coming off. So I'm just hoping he wore it even sitting on the dugout or what? Yeah, sitting in the dugout in between a game that he pitched. But these are called MLB logo men. Called a logo man.
Yeah. Okay, so logo men in baseball and basketball, but it's shield in hockey. Okay.
And football.
And football shield. Yep.
Yeah.
So to have that, I mean, it's kind of like, it's really nice. I got it when they just got knocked out of the World Series, and he didn't pitch well either. So had he pitched well and like won MVP, or they'd have won the World Series against the Dodgers, this would have been too expensive. So, and I also don't own a 101 of Fleury, but this, how can I compare this? You guys know the O-Pee-Chee Platinum, the disco, what do they call them? Gold disco, or that's not it. That's Panini. What do they call the 101s in O-Pee-Chee Platinum?
Golden Treasures.
Golden Treasures. Yeah. So I found this Bowman Platinum True 101 rookie of Glasnow. It's got the same, but look at that. Look at what it does there, man.
Rainbow, like, kind of.
That's so nice. They call it, is it foil fractor? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, foil fractor 101. Yeah. So I got this for $70 when he was hurt. So I was like, or in between during the off season last year. So yeah,
I like that design a lot. I think that's the best one that we've shown, other than the peacock one. I think that those are really cool. Right. Man.
It's beautiful, man. If Tyler Glasnow comes back healthy in the next year, he's like the Cy Young winner. I've got a collection that will pay for any Fleury I need. So not that I would ever do that, but unless it got ridiculous, right? I think there's a point. Yeah. Keep a few. But speaking of Stadium Club, now I will say that I wish that Stadium Club 101s, not the Chromes, Kelvin, because we all know that those are super fractors, but the base Stadium Club 101s, they're called the Rainbows. And I thought the foil or something would look different. It's basically just gold foil, but that's the 101. And this was his first Stadium Club Tampa Bay Rays card. I mean, look how sick that card is, like the picture.
That's such a nice photo. Wow.
Yeah, it's so sick.
And I love the photos in other sports, man. Like, they know how to take them. They're really nice.
So I definitely, like Kelvin, grabbed a Stadium Club and like, gosh, I can imagine like a Fleury 101 as a Stadium Club. Imagine the picture they'd use the diving save from 2 years ago against the Leafs, when he was on Vegas. That's only on one team card, and I cannot find it. It's like one of my most wanted cheap cards. All right, Kelvin, I don't know if you have one of these. I'm sorry to do this to you, but this is from Mosaic. And again, like just seeing how cool these can look. Obviously it's like the subtleties within like the silver lines in here that are cool, but knowing it's a 101, it definitely takes the cake.
Like cubes or like something in the background. I don't know. It's like it just sticks out. It does really cool. These are all way better than like a lot of stuff Upper Deck has, like design wise. Oh, yeah. All this is awesome to look at.
Right. No, it's I would, if I could pick one, I wouldn't pick Select, I wouldn't pick Prism, I'd pick Mosaic for hockey. Can you imagine how cool that would be?
Mosaic would be insane. It would be crazy.
Gosh, dude, it'd be amazing, especially because they could do like a color wheel of the best players, and like, I can imagine that, those color wheels, those case hits, those are nasty. All right, my last one is the first booklet card I ever bought, and I know there's a Fleury like this because I think that one from the Cup got pulled a few months ago with the big Adidas logo patch thing in it out of 2 or whatever, and it sold, or 101, and it sold for thousands. But I bought this after they got to the World Series, and it's a rookie. It says the rookie card logo. It's out of 2. And it's it's pretty nasty. So Inception, one thing I like about this is this photography style with like the darkened. This reminds me of what Panini would do a lot with their photos, Kelvin, on like the Minion and things. They would really up it to really get him dark on the photo, the player. So I think Inception would be super cool because I know it's rookie focused for sure, but just like an Inception that included, you know, modern players, legends, and stuff like that. I just love that photography style. And you know, obviously booklets are there's definitely not a lot of them being released now because that's really tough to do printing wise, and they don't have access to, you know, I think there's only like 7 printers in the world that do sports cards, so they definitely are limited a bit on what they can do. But yeah, I mean, I just pulled out a few of my favorites. My Glass Now collection is definitely something that I enjoy because it keeps me excited about releases for baseball, especially Panini, because they love him. And I love watching the guy pitch. I can't wait for him to come back at the end of the season, or I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. It's not looking good. So probably next year and watch him, you know, do his thing again. So it definitely adds to it when you're collecting a guy who's also performing and striking fools out and making them look bad at the plate. Makes me quite happy. So anyways, all different designs, but yep, I'm with you, Kelvin.
Those are all unique. Those are all really awesome to see, especially that last one, man. That was one of the nicest patches I've ever
booklet.
seen.
Oh, it's so nice.
It's definitely
cool. Like even like I've seen, like, you know, there's a lot of patches that like a lot of character to, but like how can you get better than that? That's awesome.
I know what was interesting. The guy bought it from, he said, "Yep, I got a redemption and a break," and he goes, with the same breaker. Less than a month before that, the other one got pulled. The 1 out of 2 redemption got pulled. And I'm like, A, how cool would it be to find it? And B, how cool would it be to have it? But I mean, you know, to have the other half of the pirate head. But
that would be unreal.
That would be so cool.
It would. I doubt I'll ever see it. I think the guy who bought it's a big Pirates fan. And he, you know, if you're a Pirates fan, that doesn't matter who it is. That's a sick card. So
yeah,
he'll probably sell it when he wins the Cy Young and it's worth like thousands of dollars, you know, so. Anyways, so kind of curious too, Brady, because you said you don't collect another sport, but if you did, like what sport, who would it be? I am pretty curious to hear this answer.
Well, for the most part, I like where you guys went with this because this wasn't the intended point of the top 5 favorite cards from other sports. I like that you guys went the design route because that's just wicked. Really cool topic of discussion. What I was thinking is just cards from other sports that you just like to own. Like for me, I'd love to own like a Michael Jordan rookie someday. Like,
gotcha.
Like that. Like there's from other sports, there's just a few cards I just love to own. I mean, Michael Jordan. I'm not a fan of any other sport, honestly, other than hockey. But I mean, everyone can appreciate Michael Jordan for sure. I mean, just unreal. I'd love to own one of his rookies someday. Same thing with like probably a Roger Federer rookie or something. I think that'd be pretty cool. I like watching tennis, actually. Never played it, but I love watching it. Other than that, there's a few other ones like Muhammad Ali. I'd love to have one of his rookie cards. They're different, like the way the rookie cards are classified as. I mean, I'm not sure how they classify a rookie card as for back then if they don't have a real rookie. I mean, geez, you got musicians and singers and everything nowadays that have rookie cards. I mean, like I don't even understand.
It's so silly, man. Silly.
But it'd be cool to have something like that. Or I mean, especially I've seen the old like baseball and lacrosse style cards from like the 1910s. Like they look like the Imperial Tobacco for hockey. Just wicked cards. I mean, simple design. Anything like that. Also, like Babe Ruth, all his older cards, just really cool looking. Yeah. I mean, I'm not in other sports. I don't follow anything else religiously, but I'm getting more into following other accounts that have, you know, a lot of high end like baseball and basketball, just to like look through. Because there's some people like I've seen online, like they're just crazy collections, and I just like following along with it, seeing the older designs, seeing you know, just different players. I think that's cool. So yeah, I think I'd love to own a Michael Jordan rookie someday or something along those lines. I'm definitely going to try to collect a rookie from each major top sport. Tiger Woods is another one I'm going to try to go for. Trying to think now.
Got to get a PSA 10 of that one where he's pointing at the ball going in the hole. I love that picture of that card, man.
I didn't even know.
Oh, that's the one.
Yeah,
that's the one, dude. The Sports Illustrated one, I'm sure Kelvin and I both had one. I know I had one a long time ago, and of course you can rip it out and hang it up on the wall, you know. But the one where he's pointing in the hole, Grady, that it's affordable and it's an awesome picture. You can look at the video of that. He puts it and he stares it down, points at it as it drops in the hole, and he grabs it and walks off like a boss. Yeah, it's sick, man.
No, I'll definitely look into that stuff. I mean, that's just something later on down the road, but I thought it'd be a cool point of discussion. But you guys turned into a way better point of discussion. Like, I mean, what I had was boring compared to what you guys are talking about.
We can't help but show off cards, man, and that's one thing that we got to get you to do.
I had stuff to show off. I don't have anything to show off. So,
do you keep really all your? You must keep your stuff elsewhere there, huh?
I do for certain things, but most of my collection is with me. I mean, I'm just in my kitchen right now. It's in my room. It's all locked up and whatnot.
I would hope it's not in your kitchen. Yeah, let me just look in the cupboard here, grab my acetates.
Especially the adaptive stuff's kind of out in the open, but I live by myself. There's no one really around, and only people that access this place, my family anyway. So it's not too bad. I don't like giving out my address to people anymore. I tell you that.
Well, I mean, nowadays, yeah. But hopefully, at some point we could see a few, because I know you got some just absolutely incredible cards. I gotta say, like I was thinking on the lines of I'm a sentimental person, so big Mariners fan, which also, you can understand why there's probably gray in my hair. My hairlines are receding. I'm a teacher and a Mariners fan, so it comes with the territory. I would say I would love to own an Ichiro SPX rookie. I remember when that picture of that card came out, because he's wearing the glasses. It's autographed. It's game used piece. You know what card I'm talking about, Kelvin, right?
Yeah.
That has a lot of significance with me, because that was at the tail end of my first collecting run. I stopped my sophomore year. I wanted that card so bad. But it was, it was $500 out the gate, and now it's like, yeah. I mean, I remember I almost bought one for $900, and I probably should have, but yeah, a long time ago. But that card for me in baseball, I would love to own. In football, it would be a John Elway PSA 10. I loved him growing up. He was my favorite football player growing up. And then what am I forgetting? Basketball. Oh, I mean, that's easy. A Dwayne Wade rookie of some kind. I mean, he's been my favorite forever. So, yeah, I mean, pretty simple. Yeah. What about you, Kelvin? I mean, what about the other three sports?
Football. I mean, in football, I used to be a Gronk super collector at one point.
That's right.
I showed you some of the cards.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, one of the cards I wish I didn't sell was this 5-star autograph. I believe it's out of 15, and he inscribes it Gronk, and then he signs it with his full signature.
That's so sick.
Cool.
Yeah, and that's the one card, the only card I regret selling of the bunch. So I'd love to get that one back for football. For basketball, ooh, that's a tough one. I was a bandwagoner as well. I was a Lakers fan. I just love teams that won. But I love Kobe.
Yeah,
I love Kobe. I did pull an autograph from him out of a
Panini,
box.
right?
Yeah, it was Prestige.
Nice.
I pulled it.
Tough card. Jeez.
Yeah, it was like a $40 box or like 30. It was like a cheap box, like $30.
They were cheap back in those days. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did get an autograph, but yeah, I'd love to get some of his rookies. But
refractor, the Topps Chrome refractor.
Oh, that would be I love that one.
It's a big time card now, man.
Yeah, that one's just too big. But yeah, that'll be one. What did I miss? Baseball. Yeah, baseball. I would love more Ohtani cards, but they're kind of expensive now. But I love Ohtani, and especially his Monster Weekend. Like he went off this weekend. Holy.
And he's been quiet all year. Now he's back on the forefront of everybody's minds.
Yeah.
So
8 RBIs, 13 strikeouts. Like that's inhuman.
Yeah,
he is a monster. I would love that. But yeah, and then Ichiro. Yeah, I'd love to get an Ichiro rookie. Like the Topps traded refractor. I would love that one.
The retro refractor. That's a beautiful card.
Yeah, it's so nice, but a little too pricey. But so the base will do. Yeah. I don't blame him. That's a nice card.
Well, let's wrap it up with this question then, because I think we all kind of want to talk about this. We're at, and I kind of did with you, Calvin's, but since it's a round table, I think it's good for everybody. Goal setting is huge, man. Like every collector, you should do yourself a favor and do it. Whether you're building a set, whether you have a visual want list or a typed out want list that Kelvin has, like you need to have goals to set and achieve, because that way when you get to a point in the year, you're not sitting there like, okay, I've spent all my money on all these cards that are just sitting around me. Yay, but it's more like, hey, cool. I set out to have this many Flurry or this many Brodeur or this much of this set done. I've achieved that goal. I've surpassed it. Now what do I want to do? So I always feel like goal setting, if you're not doing it as a collector, you're not doing yourself any favors. You need to have a goal in mind, like have a certain amount of money you spend at the expo or whatever, some kind of goal. So start with you, Brady. Like, look, you're sitting here. I mean, obviously something exciting on the horizon. What's the plan of attack now, especially for this set with SPA coming out in a week? Where are you? What is your goal for this chase going into the end of the year around Christmas time?
Definitely gonna try to. I mean, the retros as they come out, like right now, are like the priority because they're out. But soon as SPA drops, like those are just in the back mirror. Like I'm just definitely going to be going after all the small rookies first, and just wait. I mean, years ago I used to just try to get them all. I didn't really care what the price was. I mean, now that hockey and the market's gone up, you're going to have a premium for certain players. Mm-hmm. So I'll take a look at the checklist. I'm most likely just going to try to. My goal for this year is to try to finish all the retros and the cards that are coming out from SPA. I know that's not going to happen, but it's probably going to be a year from now before I get that all done.
Right.
Especially with the way, like, I have a life now. I have a house and I have things to pay for. Before it was all expendable. You could use it on that. But for now, that's my main goal. And then there's Datsuk, which is still huge right now. I have basically like all his rookie stuff. Actually today, I got around to finalizing the deal for those 5 really big cards. I think I shared in the last video that we did.
When we all just chatted. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. It's Young Gun exclusive. The OPG black refractor at a 50. Future Watch limited gold at a 25. The Be a Pro Emerald at a 10. And there's also a card. It's a picture actually. He actually sent the pictures this time. I was waiting for all the pictures. And I have a card that apparently doesn't exist. I think I was telling you guys. It's a photo and it's authenticated by Be a Pro and it's rookie year Datsuk autograph. So those ones are going to be incoming. So to finalize that deal and get it, paid off before the end of the year, I think is another goal of mine.
Cool.
So we'll find that. We'll figure that out. And the checklist, realistically, the checklist could be narrowed down to just one single card by the end of the year, I think.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's crazy the way that everything's falling into place. His Be a Pro, he has a Be a Pro Beckett promo. I think I found a guy who has a bunch. He actually worked for Beckett at one point and got a bunch of these promos. So, crazy to come across him on the Facebook group.
That's cool, man.
That's cool.
He said he had a bunch of these just stored away. He said, I remember them because I was the one that was advertising them in the Beckett magazines back in 2001. I'm like, that's insane.
Wow.
That's a great connection,
that's
man.
So
Good for you.
That's wicked. Yeah. So it's been a while. He's taken a long time to look for it, but I really don't care. It takes all the time in the world. It's not a huge card, but for me, like for my checklist, it is. And there's another one, the Datsuk Pacific Nights. We looked up. I think we looked up Hasek or something. We've seen a picture of last time. I got a guy who has the whole parallel set from Pacific of every card 995, and he's probably going to sell them in the future. And he's going to let me know firsthand. And it's not that expensive. He gave me a price range, and I'm like, yeah, I could do that. So. Cool. That leaves the very last card, which I don't think I'll have for a while. If this Crosby sells, the straight up trade for the titanium rookie at a 13.
That's like the mountaintop card of cards right there. So
Ooh.
especially when you're working on the set as your number one priority, it's really tough to prioritize that. But we can talk about this on another episode about like having cards that you can let go. No, it's not easy for us, but that might be one of them.
It's definitely the peak. It's I like to think it's the single best Datsuk card in existence for sure. I don't think there's any. Well, there is something better, but again, I don't know if it exists. It's a 1 of 1 from his rookie year, so I don't even think about that.
Yeah.
But titanium is achievable. There's people that have them, but like you're not going to get them from them at all. They are not letting them go. I mean, Mike Crosby offered to a guy was completely turned down. So even though value-wise, I was far and above, but it didn't matter. These cards are just huge. Titanium's super popular anyway, so
they did a great. Pacific did a great job, and to know that Datsuk's best rookie came from Pacific, that makes me quite happy. So
very cool. Yeah, very cool. So that's just my end goals for this year. I mean, that's that's being a bit optimistic. I don't think that's going to happen. My main priority is definitely the sets, and Datsuk kind of trails along behind it. So
okay, cool. Well, we're looking forward to, obviously we're going to try to do one of these every week or two, and we'll be looking forward to kind of every now and then getting some updates from you. Obviously next week is going to be you're going to be like a kid on Christmas, the day before Christmas Eve, because Thursdays Thursday's going to be right before it. But yeah, that's going to be fun to track for sure, dude, especially on my end, knowing all the goalies, DiPietro and Francois and all the other guys that are in there. It's going to be fun to see who you're able to track down. So
I'll definitely try my best, and hopefully we can get some more people on here. I'll talk to a few people, and I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, that definitely will be doable too, especially because I pay for the premium. So maybe once we get enough people on here, we can start getting patrons. You know what I mean? Get people contributing to get all, because I think the premium allows me to get 8. Or more or something like that, but the basic you can't do any backgrounds, and it's all this stuff. So what about you, Kelvin? Where are you at goal wise for the rest of the year?
Well, it's hard. Like I like my goal going to is like, all right, tackle a couple cards in my top 50, but they just rarely come up, and then it's hard to kind of like set up or prepare myself for like if a card comes up that's not like, that's kind of rare but didn't make it to the top 50, because I mean he has almost like 10,000 cards, like he has a ton, right? It's just not feasible to like squish everything to like the top 50, but it's just something at least for me to like at least have like some sort of direction. So I just kind of whatever cards I like that are relatively rare that I don't see often, I'll try and go for it. But I guess the main cards I do want to finish is the select golds. I'm just missing 2 of them. It's the double strike gold and the freezers gold. And then if I get those 2, then I'll have all the prism and select golds completed. So
that picture will like break the Bro Doer internet Instagram hashtag for sure, dude. That'll be awesome.
I'll definitely whatever Bro Doer I see anyways, I always send you it. So
I always appreciate
if I see
that.
Something shiny and gold, I'll
He probably gets tired of us tagging him and stuff, because I'm sure I've tagged you in like 20w Bro Doer things on Facebook, because you're like, yep, got it. Nope, don't want it. It's like, well, I'm gonna keep doing it anyway.
I appreciate it. I know. I appreciate it. I know people always send it to me too. So it's always nice to have eyes, because I only stay on Instagram mainly, and then like eBay and ComC. So like it's just nice to have eyes on like Facebook or like accounts I don't follow that are selling Bro Doers. So it's always nice.
Never know, man.
Never know. No, I'll screenshot or wherever it is. Like I'll send you a picture of it if I know you need it. Even if it looks nice, it's low number, I'll send it anyways.
Always appreciate it. And then one of the Panini sets I've been wanting to complete for a long time, but like no cards ever show up, is the 13-14 totally certified. And they just never ever show up. Like I've only added 1 parallel, and I think I've only seen that parallel, which is the purple. The purple case instead of packs. That's the only one I've seen. But like I've had
a 10, right? The purple.
That one's out of 35. The 10 is the mirror
blue.
Mirror blue, I think, is out of 10.
And then the mirror purple is out of 25.
35. The mirror red is out of 25. I still need the 2 gold. I need the regular gold, the mirror gold, the regular emerald, and then the platinum mirror emerald is the 1 of 1.
Yeah, well, I mean, geez,
yeah, but I like that. I'm probably never gonna see that one.
I love how he's always like, yeah, I'll add this to him. I'm like, dude, there's so many Brodeur collectors out there.
Yeah.
But that's cool, man.
But yeah, it's just I don't know if someone's hiding them. Like I've not seen any of those ones, but obviously they're too hard. But I think those, and then working on a couple. Oh, I know where some really rare stuff are kind of expensive, so I'm gonna work towards that at least by next expo. So those are probably the goals for now.
Well, and hopefully the next expo you've got someone joining you to go to it as well. That'll be fun. Yeah. So we can look at the same time as opposed to sending pictures and stuff. Well, cool. Well, I guess I'll wrap it up. I made a visual want list so you guys can take a peek at what I'm looking for everybody that watches this. If you see one of these, hit me up. It's always good to get more eyes out there. So I made, I give Kendall a huge shout out. I grabbed most of these pictures from him. I have 2 of these accounted for. I'm not going to say who it is yet because I don't know if they want me to. But someone on Instagram has this set aside for me and this set aside for me, and he was very, very fair on his price. So I'll be able to cross those off soon. But I feel like everything I put on this one and the next one you'll see is there's nothing under 10. Everything's out of 10 or higher. So,
I see even 3 already there that are like really hard to find.
Oh yeah, that one there, that one there, and this one right here.
That one there, yeah.
that one there. Yeah. Even the bottom right is hard because
I don't even know what I don't even know how many there are.
I've seen one of Brodeur. I think there's 20. I want to say it's 25 or 5. I forget. They don't number them.
If that's out of 5, I need to get rid of it right now because I'll never see it again.
I think Beckett has it listed. I don't remember the number because that was whatever, like the Father's Day pack or whatever.
I have 2 of them, so there's 2 different ones on there. So yeah, let me know so I could maybe get rid of it. But I think I'd love to find this because of the blue. This one, Kelvin knows I had a shot at this, but it went for way more, which I still don't understand. But I think they're all very obtainable cards. You know what I mean? There's nothing other than the golds. This one, I don't. If it comes up, it's going to be a bloodbath. I know it is, but I'll sell. That's when I start selling some flurries I'm not as fond of, and I make sure I get it. Like this one is up on that realm.
2012 gold's going to be crazy too if that ever pops up. That's going to be insane.
This one right here, I was close to getting rid of it. I really was, but. Something you got to have a couple of aim high cards for sure.
You should definitely send a picture of this list in the group after. I'll add it to my camera roll. Make sure I.
Definitely do that. This right here, there's. I guess I can use this as incoming. I found a copy of this right here, which I'm really, really excited about. It's actually a little bit better than this because the patch break is a little bit further to the right, so he's got a little more room to sign. But this is my favorite setup with these striped Reebok pads. So this is on its way. Yeah, really. I mean, I think I paid fair market value. These 3 right here, maybe these 5 right here are big time wants, man. I know the Flurry is as a Group A short print. This card because of the mask and whatnot. And then this stinking card, an artist proof from Pinnacle. I mean, it's like they're probably hanging out in dollar boxes, but I've never seen artist proof from that. And everybody that's like, I just got base. I'm sorry. I'm like, can you look and see if you have this by any chance? And they'll pull out the base and not be it. So and then of course the remnants are just beautiful cards and whatnot. So
is that this the patch remnants?
Yeah. Even the jersey autos are nice. I mean, they're just it's amazing. This card right here, once this comes in, if I'm correct, this is the last. I'm trying to think. This is the last obtainable Penguins Cup patch auto that I have left to get of all of them. Other than this, it's a patch. But this is the jersey. The patch out of this is out of 5, and I'm like, well, that's probably not out there anymore. Yeah. So. And I know Nick, I hope you watch this at some point. Nick Zimmerman on Facebook. He's a big John Gibson collector. He's got one of these, and he says, if I ever sell it, I'll sell it to you. So appreciate that. And this is the pad, not the jersey, by the way. Pad cards are awesome. So anyway, and this cup. I forgot this one. I know who has that, but he's like, yeah, nope. Sorry, not going anywhere. But again, it's nice to kind of, like Brady was saying, you kind of know where these cards are at. But there's some that I have not had one person say, I have these, but some of these I've had people say, sorry, it's my son's favorite. Sorry, I'm not selling. I'm only trading. And I get a little frustrated with that. I'm not going to lie. Because if I pay you for a card, you can just turn around and buy something you want. So whatever.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with the card that I need. A guy he doesn't want to get rid of it. It's sentimental. So that's how it is sometimes.
But usually my thing too, in closing, is like, if Kelvin or you were to say, I got this one Fleury, he's not my main PC, but I love this card. Like, instead of like harping on the card, how about building up some kind of friendship or line of communication? Like, all right, well, talk to me about your PC. And, like that way, when you do come back to it, this person will say, like, for instance, getting the 101, it's out, what that looks like this, getting it from YQL Cards. I mean, at first he's like, this isn't going anywhere. And then as I bought the one Leland from him and we kept up line of communication, like, hey, just checking back in with this. He's like, you know what, I'll sell it to you. So I think there's times when you can come back to it. You just got to remain cordial, check in, tell them, like, obviously, hey, great collection, kind of support them. And I think it's when it's mutual like that, letting a card go or trading with somebody like Kelvin did with Super Cool Cardboard. Like, Kelvin, if you were kind of a jerk and standoffish, there's no way he's trading with you. So I think it's, it goes a long way to be really friendly in the hobby. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it does go a long way, man.
Big time, dude. Well, for episode 1, I think this was a lot of fun. I'm interested to see what some people have to say, and I would love to get more people involved, do these live so we can get people commenting and stuff. But yeah, really enjoyed the topics tonight, fellas. So thanks again for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Problem.
Always fun.
Yep. Back anytime. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll definitely keep this going. Again, I want to wish Brady best of luck. It's about to go popping off.
Yeah, it's about to go crazy, man. It's about to go crazy.
But we will be here to help you out. So
it's been a while since I chased the set, man. So
and please don't, just going to throw this out here because I blame Kelvin all the time. Please don't blame us for helping you spend more money. We're just here helping you accomplish your hobby dreams. So the money's obsolete, I guess.
If I go broke, I'll come knocking on your door.
Yeah, sorry. We'll send you some food care packages, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Well, hey, goodbye to everybody. We'll see you next week. And thanks again, boys, for hanging out.